Whoa! Oh,
Yes.
oh, we're live.
Yes!
Okay, I got worried there for a second.
We did it!
Lord, you finally did it.
Welcome to episode 9 of our community podcast. Few first tonight. One, it's late at night, which we usually don't do. Two, we have everyone here, including our beautiful, beautiful intern who has made us so many wonderful things. And three, I'm sure there's more, but we'll get around that. You know, we'll get around to
We
more.
can't count to 3 either. Just
I can't count that high. Summer.
Gabe Newell.
Starting off, hey Burrito, you like starting things off. Why don't you, little repeat of a topic here, but tomorrow is Bungie Day, 7th day of the 7th month.
Is.
Would you like to start us off? Tell us a little bit about your favorite Bungie Day.
Oh boy, would I. My favorite Bungie Day in the past still gotta be, we've talked about this on a past podcast, but 2009 Bungie Day, introduction of the Bungie Ultimate Ninja Gaming League Extreme, which is fantastic. But in recent years, we do have the, look it up by the way if you don't have it, it's part of the Community Carnage for tomorrow for those that don't know. Halo 3, 9 a.m., boom. Big fan of that, and big fan of having the Community Carnages the past few years. Those are always a blast.
All right, hey Chorizo, how about you go next?
My favorite Bungie Day is the Bungie Day that I missed because I was in leadership camp. And it was Bungie versus the World Day, and the reason it was my favorite day is because I wanted to be there, and I contemplated getting sick and leaving so I can go home. I wanted the 777 XP in Halo Reach, but I didn't get it. My friends did.
I'm sorry, that's awful.
Better luck next year.
Yeah,
Missing him's bad.
we've always got next time, which is conveniently tomorrow. Hey Death, how about you go?
Okay, hi, I'm Death, and as for the favorite Carnage, I'd have to say I really enjoyed the Bungie versus World one. I want to say that happened in like 2012.
That's what I was talking about.
2009.
That was also, yeah.
They did it in
Right?
2009 and I think 2011 and 12.
I like the one with 12 just because everything was just on fire that time.
It was 09 because it was right before ODST came out, and
They've done
they gave away Recon with ODST. By the way, just want to throw in real quick, Bungle, not a Bungie Day thing.
Alright.
Burrito is
On a
very
side
proud of
note,
He
Bungle.
was big about his bungle. All
Not
right.
to say that was the focus of a Bungie Day. I'm just throwing that out there. This is my favorite parts of it.
They had multiple Bungie versus the World Day because I remember the Halo Reach one explicitly because it had a really badass like banner for it. It was
Yes,
the
that's why I
Haunted
love
Spartan
it. It's
about
like
to fight
helmet
the EVA Spartan with the like the world painted over its visor. It's cool.
Yeah, I remember that. The
All
official word, it was 2009 and 2011.
Hi Labos, would you like to go next?
Sure, yeah. My favorite Bungie Day, well, last year was pretty cool since we got a bunch of website updates. Just like a lot of little things spread out over the week, and that was pretty pleasant. And also, I really like the Halo Reach Bungie versus the World just because there's all those cute, well, you know, those Forge maps and such. Or was that the Halo 3 one? No, that was Halo 3 where they had a ton of crazy Forge maps, and they were both good and bad, and it was lots of fun, you know, either praising or flaming the heck out of each map, so... Yeah.
All right. Flint, our beautiful, I don't know if we can even call him an intern anymore considering how much he's done, but
He's a member
Flint,
of P7.
He's the member.
That's what interns do.
Did Death ever get his coffee?
I don't
did
think
not.
you did.
I did not get my coffee. I am
It's-
quite pissed off.
oh,
It's
okay.
in the mail.
You're
My favorite Bungie Day is 2007. I was right before Halo 3 came out, and that was the opportunity for us to showcase, or Bungie showcased the CQB and the EVA armors. So they had that great 3D panoramic of them kind of breathing and looking, you know, awesome. So that certainly was a great experience for all of us that were looking for unique snowflakes that our Spartans could become.
Very cool.
Nice.
Prometheus, I hear you chuckling. How about you go next?
Flint actually stole my thunder. 2007 was also one of my favorite Bungie days, mostly because I didn't really pay attention to some of the later ones. But I remember I think it was like the big hype up before Halo 3, and kind of like what Flint said, this introduction of all this like unique multiplayer data armor sets that everyone could earn and do some stuff with. So it was kind of like this giant tease of things to come. So it was enjoyable.
Okay. And Spawn.
Yeah, I'm shooting for 2010, mainly because that was a little bit more recent, but there was a specific time frame in there where if you were playing Halo 3, like everybody got Flaming Helmet, right? And that was back in the
That's
time,
right.
you know, when only Bungie employees had the Flaming Helmet. And so there was a specific time frame in there when it first started that people didn't realize like they had the helmet unlocked. So if you were like one of the first few people to unlock it and you started playing matchmaking, like people started sending you friend requests and freaking out and going like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" It was so funny, especially when you went with like a full party of people and you all did it like before everybody realized they turned it on. Super
That's
fun,
funny.
but yeah, it was very fun for that. And then that was also when we got the tease, the Blood Gulch tease, or excuse me, Hemorrhage for Halo Reach with Red vs. Blue video. So that was pretty cool.
That was.
Right. And I don't know. I really can't pick a favorite Bungie day.
2014.
Ever since 2009, that was my first one. I have all these great memories of either doing like community carnage type things or just playing with a big group of friends. So I mean, I think they're all awesome. I really can't pick a favorite.
Hey, wasn't it?
Years is
go
gonna
ahead.
suck because I'm gonna be at work and I'm gonna cry about it. But
Poor Roland.
You should just break your hand. That way you can get out of work.
So wasn't it 2008 where Bungie gave away cold storage for free?
Yes.
That was 2008.
That was 2008. That was really great. I'm kind of curious if people are going to start because now the Destiny community is getting bigger, are people going to start expecting like free content every Bungie day or something? Because they've only done that once.
I think that was 6 years ago. I don't think it'd be a little bit late for them to be like, "Whoa, 6 years ago you gave us free stuff. Where the hell?"
I don't know what the kids are like these days, man.
Waited patiently for 6 years. Where the hell?
I would
think-
say on the seventh
I think for
seventh
Bungie
year
Day.
they would give us free content. I mean, that should be expected.
There you
So-
go. It raises a valid point.
I think from now on,
Alright,
when once Destiny's out, I think on every Bungie day they should just have ridiculous raids that are like impossible and just ridiculous enemies.
Oh, that'd be
We
Just
hilarious.
piss people off. Happy Bungie Day, fuckers!
Like Webmaster Challenge. Webmaster.
Yeah.
Now, guys, completely sideblind, but as of like 2 minutes ago, Deej just posted a thread in the community forum that he's headed back from RTX.
I saw that. And I'm
Yeah.
guilty of
Yeah.
posting it.
He just posted it, and I was like, I wonder if, as we're casting, we should, all do something in that. But I don't know.
So
Something
we
to point
did.
out. Yeah. So, something to shout out
Cool.
to him there. For that.
Look at how both
Sorry to be
just
off the top,
turn around
yeah.
typing. Oh, we're not podcasting. It's
We're
fine.
all doing it.
all right, so as we all know, though, tomorrow is Bungie Day again. As far as I'm aware, there's a lot of hopes and dreams for Bungie Day. One of the biggest things I think I've been hearing about, though, is the collector's edition for Destiny.
That's right.
Thoughts?
Statues are awesome.
I hate statues.
Really?
Oh, really?
Okay.
Hold on.
Statues are cool, all right? But I don't like... I would have bought the legendary one if it weren't like 100 and whatever it was, just because of that statue. I like my nice boxes. I like my art books. I like statues, but I'm a broke college student.
I feel
Pete 7, you need to join me on an adventure to the other side of my room, where I have
We're going on an adventure.
many statues up here on top of my bookshelf with many books, and I adore it. I still have the Halo Reach statue, even if it is a little dusty.
So I'm noticing
Badass.
a distinct lack of cat helmets on that.
I never
Halo
got
3
the
legendary.
legendary edition of Halo 3.
Dude,
Now,
it's a cat helmet in a box. How can you go wrong?
I know.
So are people more fan of, like with the legendary content, are people more fan of like digital content or like physical stuff, Because sometimes you like order that, you get like, digital armor and pre-armor, whatever. But I don't know, some people like the hardware stuff as well.
Yeah, I really like my feelies, like, those little maps or the, little lore books or art books that sometimes come with those things. Or like the Halsey Journal that came with Reach. I really enjoyed reading that while
That
waiting.
was awesome.
That was super cool. Because that was lore related too. That's what made it unique for me. Like, it wasn't just a statue, which is cool, but you had a story behind it.
I have, I believe, was it Reach, Halo Wars, and Don't Hate Me, Halo 4. I ended up buying the higher editions, and they all had really cool little lore behind it, and that probably is my favorite thing to get in a Legendary Edition.
That's cool.
This helmet has gone with me to Washington and Okinawa, and it's going to go to New York with me. It's very stylish. It doesn't fit on my cats.
It's really bad.
Well, you
Cats
gotta
are
make
broken.
Bowman
Maybe
said
it
it
would've-
fits on cats. It fits on cats.
Yep.
Said it.
No, back in 2007, late 2007, after Halo 3 came out, it was a big thread in the forum that a lot of people probably don't remember, but it was about how to get it to fit on your cat, and you have to take. I think it was foaming, but you had to
Yeah, it
take
was.
out like the foam on the inside to get it to fit and stuff. It was like a whole process. It was the craziest thread I had ever seen up to that point, and I loved him for it. It was tops. But yeah, you gotta work for it. It doesn't fit on your cat. You have to make it fit on your cat.
Force that shit on. You just.
No,
Yeah,
one
there's no, but we
harmed in the
did
making of this podcast,
Yeah, right?
and now we're in trouble with every animal rights activist ever. Thank you,
Sorry,
Burrito.
PETA.
We don't need PETA getting on this. We'll get on PETA.
All
Oh,
right. So, other things we're hoping for from Bungie Day?
Well, they
I'm
did
sure-
say in the last weekly update that we're going to be getting the beta codes this week. So maybe
Really?
that'll happen tomorrow. Yeah, they said in the last weekly update, right at the end, they're like, hopefully by this time next week you'll have your codes or something like that.
I wonder if that's more. I don't know, because with the IGN stuff coming out next week, they're posting like a whole bunch of stuff. What if we don't have a mail sack next week? So I don't know.
Who knows?
It's something. It's something definitely to speculate on.
I kind of feel like with Bungie Day tomorrow and the beta being around the corner, I think we might see a site update. That's just me assuming, because I remember when the alpha was out and everyone had access to it, we also had access to the alpha site. And if everyone is going to have access to the beta, they might want to mess around with testing the stats and stuff as well, and even the Grimmer cards. So I feel like we'd probably see just slight changes and stuff, just as so they can allow themselves to test everything while they're testing the build.
Well, I actually talked with Akranos about this, and back when he did that update a little while ago that introduced the clans forum, he did mention that a bigger update was on the way soon. So that could be where we start to see stats come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our
Definitely possible.
inside source.
Ooh. I can't.
They did say that this Bungie Day was going to be something that everyone could enjoy. They teased that, so I've been kind of speculating on what that could be. I mean, obviously a little bit too early for the beta, and I don't think they'd release the beta codes on Bungie Day. Kind of pointless. Like, here's this 9-digit number. Can't use it for a couple weeks.
It's coming up pretty fast.
Site update. Definitely see it coming. And I don't know. I hope it's something good because I just realized I'm actually going on vacation over the beginning of the beta, so it's fine. I thought about breaking my hand or calling in sick to get out of it.
It's such a
but-
good idea.
Already
It's so
established
easy.
that's
You just
acceptable.
put it against the desk and just smack your wrist. Then you're out of work.
Go at it.
It's a little hard to play the beta, though, if you've broken your hand.
That is not true. I broke my hand during
Acceptable.
football, and I
Awesome.
played nothing but Halo Reach with a cast.
I mean, who needs thumbs, right? You just finger it
I
away.
did, and I didn't even use my thumbs. I used, look at, this is how I played. So here's the controller. My wrist, I had a cast from here to here, and so I played with my thumb and my pointing finger, and I used my pointing finger for everything.
Yep. I had to do that when I broke my arm too.
It is not impossible.
When I broke my arm, I played PC games because I could use my left hand still.
Get off your high horse, Roland.
You know,
So before we start getting to a conversation of the stuff we've broken and how we've managed
I love you,
to
Roland.
do our favorite.
my broken arm was manlier than your broken arm. Anyway,
Probably.
so
You guys, there's actually one thing I did want to go over that we kind of skipped over backwards, is something we'd like to see in the collector's edition. Just real quick, we came up with a crazy idea that gained a lot of support on the forums about a year and a half ago, actually. So this is a while ago. But you know those little magnetic globes that'll float that are like essentially desk knickknacks?
Yes.
Take one of those and make it with the Traveler.
Oh, I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm just gonna paint something. I just paint it white. It's just a white ball.
You're oversimplifying it.
I have a golf ball, and I just call it the Traveler.
So I have a question for you guys, and
Why is the
that's something
Traveler
I've
in my
been thinking
window?
about for myself with collector's editions. I'm totally switched over to physical digital copies for everything, and so would you buy a collector's edition and a digital edition if the collector's edition did not come with a physical if it came with a physical copy only?
Probably, yes.
That's really interesting to go for because, like, even if you bought, like, yeah, say, hey, I'm gonna buy the big collector's edition with the tricorn thing and the Spartan helmet or whatever they decide to do. But in order to actually, because a lot of, you can just install the disc to like your console now. I know with the Xbox One and the PS4, it's
But
kind of
you still-
interesting.
You'd still have to have the physical disc there. So if you
Right.
know, if you're, for whatever reason, one of your 3 minions destroys it, now you're out $60. And again, I'd totally do it, but
It depends. I don't know if I would buy this. As big as Destiny is supposed to be, I don't know if I would buy the same game twice. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
You're not
It
fan
sort
hoarding
just
enough.
seems like you would get the digital edition maybe, and then go on eBay and selectively snipe whatever parts of the collector's edition you want. Like, oh, that statue is really cool, but I don't know if I really like those stickers. Maybe I don't need to pay the extra $30 for those or something like that. So, I don't know.
For
would it
me,
be worth it for them to go ahead and make 2 versions of it? What do you think, Chorizo? I mean, like a physical and a digital version?
it depends. I feel like if they have a collector's edition that's just digital content, or just the digital version of it, it should just come with exclusive digital content. Whereas vice versa, if they have a collector's edition that's in a hard copy, it'd come with like the physical stuff. That way, those people can have the best of both worlds. And if you really want both of them, you can buy both of them. I am a huge fan of physical stuff. I love collecting things. Like, I have that Marcus Phoenix statue, and I waited out so long to get that thing. I got it for $50, and it was great.
Nice.
I do the same thing with music. Whenever artists I like have collector's editions, I actually go buy the collector's edition because they come with cool stuff like posters and stuff. And I love posters. Like, that's my favorite thing. Like, if they had a collector's edition that was just a digital copy and it came with in-game stuff over a physical edition that had posters and maybe like a mini statue or something, I definitely go with the physical copy.
Physical copies are kind of important for me because there's one simple thing that they can do to make it worth it for me. Bungie.net user, I got it on here, James Butlin, made a thread a while ago. He made a thread posting custom artwork he made for a collector's edition, and it was like an alternate boxing of the game. I was kind of disappointed with the artwork of the Destiny cover because it's just 3 guys standing there. It looks kind of like a lot of other box covers. His was very minimal. It's basically just the Traveler. Like, the whole casing is white. I'll link it in the thread after this. But the whole casing is white, and it's kind of got just a picture of the Traveler on it and says Destiny. It's very minimalistic, which is something that Bungie has been striving for. And that little different kind of artwork that not everyone's going to have, I really dig that kind of thing. Like, I really dig it. That's something that sets your game apart from other people's, and it's just a nice, simple way to show off. I know Dark Souls 2, which came out a few months ago, had something called the Black Armor Edition, and it had a super nice casing on it because of it. And all you had to do for that was pre-order, but I was like all over that, pretty much exclusively for the case. That's a really big thing for me.
The tin cases are badass. Like, I agree with that.
Except for the Halo 3 case, which broke on shipping.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was that Halo 2?
Halo
No,
3.
Halo 3 had a tin case. I remember.
Oh, okay.
Halo 2 had one as well. It was the Legendary Edition, I think.
Yeah, Halo 2 Legendary had it too. But I remember Halo 3's had one because I ended up buying it, and it became a huge mess when I found out the disc was scratched. And long story, my parents weren't happy with me because they already bought me the normal copy, and I made this huge hissy fit about how I wanted this other edition, and then I had to return it because it was scratched everywhere. Told you so moment. Going back to Bungie Day, though, with little things we're hoping to see, I think it was Burrito mentioned before the podcast about site updates, and I think someone mentioned throughout, too, about seeing maybe some stats starting to pop up on the
You
site.
don't even listen to me. I said that.
I'm sorry, I don't listen to any of it. It's all about me. But a big thing that still pops up to the forums this day, and we've touched on it before, but it's titles. So kind of going back to an old topic we've had before, what do you guys think about titles?
I'll
They're
start.
just dandy.
Well, apparently, I want to interrupt. No. I love titles. I think they're a lot of fun. In the past, we had the 3 tiers of heroic, legendary, and mythic member.
Blue hat.
Yes. I took that to heart. I'm gonna I want to get a backpack for when I go to PAX and have all the stuff I need in it, and so I want to have Mythicos written across the top of it or something like that. I don't know, something cool. It's a little inside joke for blue bars, but it worked out really well. I mean, some people didn't like them. Some people thought that the titles went to people's heads. For me and a lot of other Mythic members, it was more of a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing where you kind of sardonically talked about how awesome you were and
satire.
Yeah, I mean,
remember.
like when someone's like, "Dude, we're so cool. We should obviously get banning privileges," and you come out with ban a mythic member threads. It's all tongue in cheek.
That was great, though. That thread
That
was
was
amazing.
Yeah, but getting back on topic, I think they're good. I think they kind of drive people to do some good things, and I've seen that already with some of the new stuff I don't know if we're transitioning to that quite yet, but we've seen some positive behaviors with the newest member title to come out.
It's kind of interesting with your. We were talking about the mythic, and it was funny too because even back in the day, there was some interesting threads going on in the mythic group where we would pick out a thread in the gallery forum, right? We're this would be so cool if we all commented on this random guy just posted his artwork, right? Let's all just go in there and just start posting tons of comments on there, just being hey,
well, they positive comments?
Yeah, or just whatever, and let's just pick this one random thread and we'd all go to that one thread and just start commenting on it. And then
They
you
were
just watch the
detailed
reaction.
comments. They weren't bad comments hating it. They were detailed, well thought out comments to the ridiculously short, one-line post.
It was the funniest thing ever.
You check out my picture of a Spartan and be like, "Well, I really like the way the light reflects off the
exactly.
Picks up the contours of the mask and really kind of captures the emotion, the stoic emotion of the Spartan and just his soul fight against the onslaught
color of the understating.
Call
brings
911.
out his eyes.
It was the best and worst thing ever. It was the funniest thing.
We need to do that again with something. I missed out on that. I would have loved it.
Maybe we will. It's because it's not a detriment thing to the community. It can produce good discussion, and it's really funny. I'm a fan.
Because you just have this guy that created his account last week, and he just posted his art, and he's I got all these blue bars commenting on it. He's like, what the heck is happening? It's
I didn't know that was so cool.
Hey, so guys, for the title stuff, I remember Eduardo spent a lot of time trying to kind of help the community understand how the titles worked.
Yes.
Do you feel that that's important? We kind of talked about it for ninjaing, as well as this is how you become a ninja. Do you think the title should also have that kind of response or formula, if you will, or a path that's known to the community, or should it be hidden and you just kind of get it if you get it?
So I remember I actually spent a lot of time in Eduardo's thread too, trying to come up with my own theories and figure things out as well. And I think it would be knowing the formula has its detriments, but it also has its benefits. I think the best thing Bungie could do is come up with a system where not everything is known. You have a few titles, perhaps, that if you really want that title, you can go out of your way and you know how to get it. But there's a few things that should just be rewarded, not necessarily earned, if that makes sense. I mean, you'd earn them, but you wouldn't go out of your way to earn them. And I think that, in a way, is better for the community too, when it's not just people following this list of steps, but trying every possibility, because then in a way you see the whole community do better. Like with the old titles, it was the biggest thing was don't get banned. We knew almost for a fact that's what it was, but we never knew for sure. So you'd have a lot of people going out of their way not to get banned, and it's little subtle encouragement like that I think is the best thing for a title system.
I was going to elaborate on some stuff you said, but you kind of beat me to the chase. But you're absolutely right in that the old system, it was purely based on whether or not you were banned or not, and it was just fine. I mean, it's a nice blanket approach to improving people's behavior, but the one thing it lacked, and the one thing we're kind of seeing now is the handpicked. These people are doing really good, and we want to reward you for being better. But
so on that, I guess we can transition to it a bit too about the new mentor titles that came out.
Oh, that. Just to be fair, that's not what I was laughing about. I really want to. Can we screen cap this real quick? Wait, where is it? Before we move on.
So we're gonna go through this
Sorry, now.
because we're making two of our fellows uncomfortable, shining the spotlight on them. But
Burrito Senior is a member on the old site, and I think that's great.
I'm sorry.
Because he got banned. I remember Burrito Senior got banned before the site froze, and now he's stuck as a member forever.
I got banned right before the site change, and then
dying right now.
as I was getting unbanned, the system thought I was bypassing a ban, and so it rebanned me. and so I had to appeal to Eduardo, who was kind enough to undo that ban. And I believe that one also rebanned me for a third time, but that could have been the time before. This has happened to me like 4 different times. I'm not even kidding. I don't use alts, so that's why it was so frustrating. Like I wasn't bypassing a ban, and so the site got changed right after that, and it was so.
The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah, well,
dude,
you
people
know.
are gonna watch this in the future, and they're gonna think about us talking about the Mythic titles, and they're gonna Google our names and stuff. They're gonna see all you guys as Mythic members, and they're gonna see Burrito like, hey, that guy's lying. He was a regular member.
Actually,
Hey, Troy, shut up.
I got like the day before the site froze. I was though. Anyways.
I hate all of you.
With mentor titles.
Yeah,
Elaborating your thing of titles that we have going right now. What do you guys think about those mentor titles? What do you think about specific titles for specific things? Like, you did this really cool thing, you're this great member, here's a not necessarily custom title, but here's a little something tailored specifically to you.
I love the idea of the mentor title. I gotta be honest. I think it's a good first step towards bringing back the title system, because right now all we've had are Ninja since the 2013 January site update with VNext.
Bungie.
And now we have the mentor title, which is going to a good cause. We have a few of the people in our podcast are mentors, and I'm sure they'll talk about their experience in that in a minute. But they've been doing some really great work in the community forum, and a problem that I've seen a lot is like they'll go help people, and then people who just come to the site to get these questions answered, they're like, don't believe them. So now having this little mentor title will give them a little bit more credibility, and I think that's a really cool thing, because now it's like these guys can take the initiative, and they have been, to answer questions and stuff, and just it just helps the community, and that's what I think matters in the end.
One thing I kind of like is that they got the ability to move threads to other forums. They can correct stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely a feature that I like to see. The moderators kind of did that in the past, but overall they didn't they rarely edited posts or moved them around. So having kind of a group of people who that's their sole ability kind of takes some of the burden off of them to be, the forums trash managers, and it prevents the ninjas from to be the trash managers and allows other people to be trash managers. So
Share the trash.
All right.
yes.
So while I have this opportunity, I'm going to take advantage of this and use this as a platform to discuss this with everyone. So we are not ninjas in any way. It just so happens that we can move things. We can't ban people. We don't have.
Tori is a mentor, by the way, if you didn't get that.
Yeah,
But,
and we can see you, so we know you're not a ninja anyway.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is that the fact that we got the title of mentor happened by complete chance, because this all really just happened because we were doing something that we enjoyed, and I guess that the web team had noticed this, and so they kind of just rewarded us for it. And so, I mean, we weren't, I don't know. What I'd like to say is that I've noticed a lot of people pick up and go in the support forum and stuff, and we all really appreciate that because I think that's awesome. But I just want to say that you don't need a title or anything to help anyone, and that's just all we're doing. So I think the community as large, or as a whole, is doing a really good job, and I think everyone should keep it up and not do it for the sake of a title. Just similarly with the old titles and the old site, I thought that it was great that people wanted to be a good member just because they want to be a good member and not to get the Forum Ninja title.
Right.
So that's all I got in mind.
Yeah. Speaking to that, it's really interesting because, you have so many people that they end up trying to always push the envelope with those types of things. But it's interesting because when we first got those, right, we were just thinking, man, this is really going to help out the community because speaking to what Burrito said, people sign up and they just read people create an account and they literally only read the Bungie weekly update and then they never visit the site for another week. Or they see it, they see it on their Facebook feed, right? Because they follow it, and then they just go to the website, they read the update, okay, that's it, they close the browser, So if people have these questions, it's really nice for, just to have a little something so they can be like, oh, hey, that guy's got something, maybe I should be able to trust him, It's really nice that Bungie was able to do that.
Yeah, it's just really nice that, when you're a new member to this site, that there's at least, a couple friendly faces that are there to, greet you and welcome you into the fold. Because Bungie.net is a very different place. And, I mean, it's similar to a lot of other communities out there, but we have our own values, we have our own rules, and, little in-jokes and such. And it's just nice to have someone around to help integrate people into that entire mess and help them with their problems and such.
Yes.
So on the topic of you guys having the powers, I'm just curious, did they give you specific rules? Are you only allowed to do it for tag changes?
Maybe.
Oh, you can't talk about that? Okay. Well, because I was... Okay.
Burrito, stop asking questions.
No, Bungle. Okay. In Bungle, we had a thread that we would do for fun. And the thread was... it was basically anyone that posted... It said this in the first post. If you post in this thread, your post will be mercilessly edited into anything we want. And it was a really fun game that we ended up doing, where people would post something and then it would be twisted into this whole story just by the people with editing powers. And I'm just saying, I thought that was really funny, and if you guys could do that, you should do it.
Private group shenanigans are lots and lots of fun, but I don't think I'd envision us using our powers quite for that at all. We've sort of agreed that it's more so just for teaching purposes and such. Hey, yeah, you maybe haven't been to the site very often, but it certainly helps find clan members if you post this in #clans or so on and so forth. I don't envision us editing the actual bodies of people's posts anytime in the foreseeable future.
Yep. Word.
What the moral of the story is Burrito's not allowed to have any kind of authority and or power. Very simple.
It was in a private group, man. It was a forum game. I don't know if you guys ever did that kind of thing, but one of the big ways that private groups used to interact, they could just make threads. You can host game nights, And we would also have forum games. Some forums banned them, but in Bungle we had quite a few forum games, and that was one of them, and it turned out to be very successful.
Speaking of successes, Urk managed to steal one away from Deej
Yep.
last week with the achievements/trophies, along with a few other things got posted. Thoughts on those achievements/trophies for
Dragon Slayer.
I loved how
PS4 users? Yeah.
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 All right.
No story-related achievements. That's interesting.
So I thought it was
Maybe they
interesting
don't want to
because
spoil it. Oh,
this
sorry,
kind of ties into like a couple topics we talked about. So we talked about like the title thing, and then we also are kind of talking about the achievements or the trophies, right? So what if you unlocked an achievement in Destiny and you got a title for it on Bungie.net?
Achievement whoring for the win!
Like,
Yeah, no
what
kidding.
if that was a possible thing, or what if you could customize that or select that one? Like, how unique would that be? You know?
I
mean,
think it would completely saturate the titles and make it
Non-special.
not non-special, but just completely irrelevant. I don't know. Well, I like to take what your idea and combine it with like the webcam MVP thing and maybe the custom avatars, and just be like, if you can, find this VidMaster-esque style
Well,
challenge.
webcam MVP.
And what was the custom title that Urk added before the website update? I think it was Magic Touch. This guy got one.
I remember that.
I read about that
Yeah.
and granted him that title out of the blue. It was kind of
I
really
forgot about that.
Yeah. Get some custom
Prometheus,
title added.
you were talking about the webcam MVP. Do you want to say what that was?
Yeah, just real briefly, it was a title back, I want to say like 2007, and they used to have this webcam up that showed different spots in the studio, which I really wish they'd bring that back. But one, they would like on a sticky note write some question, and they'd have a forum post about it. This ad hoc account, Bungie employee account called Mr. Hand would take and answer. Look for a certain answer, and whoever got the certain answer got a special title. They only did it for a couple weeks, but essentially it was this forum challenge to complete a title. So if you did this, maybe VidMasters or is this kind of gaming motif where it's a really hard challenge to do. So if you had some really hard challenge to accomplish in Destiny, maybe achievement related or not, you could tie that back to the community, and you'd win something like a forum title or I don't know, custom avatar. I don't know. I was just spitballing. I don't want to be put in the spot.
That's a great idea, Jeff. And to go off what you and Spawn were saying, with the old titles, they had 3 different, like a prefix and something, and then a suffix. Exalted legendary member or fabled, whatever they wanted to put in there. And who says how long the titles have to be? I mean, they could be 4 or 5 or 6, things in there, and then with an achievement, one, the campaign difficulty that you completed the hardest on, or the raid that you completed the hardest on, or whatever achievement you got, that could be part of your title. But then there would be other things that would be part of your title as well.
That would definitely be cool. Like
so,
maybe right next on the left side of your name, you had a symbol of the highest difficulty you've accomplished. Then on the right side, a title, then.
And then and I think that also gives credibility right in your post, because that's what we're striving for with member with mentor or with mythic or whatever it is. We're looking for some kind of credibility that the system grants us, as opposed to look at me. So if that's automatically generated, I think that would be a huge plus.
Sure.
I also think it's really interesting because, Deej has already, commented publicly on what the future of the title system may look like. So he's already probed questions like, well, let's put away all the, the mythics and the heroics and the whatevers. Let's just talk in hypothetical terms. Like, what kind of member would you like to stand out? In just very broad terms, like what makes you think of, they use their tagline, become legend. Well, what exactly does that entail? What should that look like on the forums?
Well, what if titles worked in the reverse? What if you unlocked a title on Bungie.net for some deed you did, and then you got something in game for it? Because I've heard murmurings and talkings about maybe that's what it's going to be like. People speculating. Let's say, we all like Mythic members.
Yes, we do.
Let's say you become a Mythic member on the forums because you were, a good member for X number of years, and you unlock a special cape in Destiny, so you can run around and show off in Destiny what you accomplished. Personally, I think that'd be a little bit better than the other way around. I think as much as I like video games, I think the community should be more of the trial, because I'm sure we can all think of people we've met where they're great gamers, but when it comes to the community, not so much. Maybe we should spend more time, rewarding the community, them things in game versus rewarding the gaming side with the community. If that made sense.
I agree. I would like to say that I would like to say that if they did such a program, I would like to not see it prostituted out to the point where eventually everyone got it for essentially being there when they did that. That is all.
How?
Very important note right now to all of you listening to us on iTunes. We're playing with video effects right now, so apologies.
He has a monocle. Oh, I forgot we did that. Oh, so something I'd like to talk about, and this is going to sound totally hypocritical because I have a title now, but I liked how once the site updated, a lot of people were really judged based on their post rather than their title. Because I remember being like up-and-coming member in the community having a really hard time getting people to respond to my threads because people would go in there and be like, oh, this guy's just a member, he doesn't know what he's talking about and that kind of stuff. And I've had people like directly respond to me with that kind of attitude. So I've liked that, like, you're really judged on the you're really judged on your post and not the level of like member you are. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Burrito.
Oh no, I was gonna say I never thought of it like people always joked about, oh, mythics are so great, they're the only post that matters. I read posts by members constantly. Like, I've been on the forums, I never had a problem reading a post by a member. I just treated it based off the post. And I understand that not everyone did that. It just strikes me as so ridiculous that people would judge a post based off the little bar at the top rather than the post itself. It just stuns me.
Some people are like that, though. I mean, some people really take,
but like, there's a difference between like we have it as satire versus actually saying, "Ooh, we are really superior. We have a monocle like Prometheus," and it just. I just don't like that. It's not something I ever pursued in any serious fashion, aside from our sarcasm or satirical posts. And it's not something I don't think anyone worth reading in the first place would actually pursue. Like, you don't do that. That's a dick move.
Yeah?
Agreed.
The internet's full of dicks. Literally.
What he's really saying is, don't judge a book by its cover. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to pull my own dick move here, and I'm going to transition the topic away quickly. I want to... Yeah, no, I know. I'm
Poor choice of words.
We've got a few people that left a few questions for us. So, we're about halfway through our podcast, a little more. So how about we take a quick look at those? Sound good? Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. All right.
Good
job. So the first question we have is from Astral Landlord. Icon has recon?
No. Never.
Okay.
I actually am the prominent authority on recon armor, because I made the longest for a while, the longest post on BNet ever until Hyalvos surpassed me. 7 posts about
Yeah, it's
Recon in my
7
thread,
consecutive posts.
detailing the entire history of Recon armor. And I can safely say for a fact that no, you cannot has Recon if you do not has it right.
This
My
is
answer,
true.
my
Alright.
answer would be ask Deej. That's all.
Team Florida?
Or blame Stosh.
No, just ask Deej.
Yeah.
Okay. All wonderfully horrible advice. Next question is from Lawrence. As we fight and push back the enemies of those taking refuge behind the city's walls, we'll be able to take new land and build more cities across the fallen areas of the world until once again we free all of Earth.
Destiny 2.
Hardcore.
Builder.
What's the question?
So essentially, as you play Destiny,
Suck.
are you going to be able to kind of like a capture the flag type thing, go around, take land back from your enemies, maybe unlock things like that? What do you
I
guys?
have an answer for that, and the answer is we don't know yet.
Yay! Speculation.
Speculation.
That's what we do on our podcast. We speculate. Do you guys want to see something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's something for future games, because Bungie's made it pretty clear what the scope of this game is. They've made it clear you're going to be in the solar system for this game, and we have 1 city left. For now, I think that's good. We have a concept art that we've talked about, like Old Chicago and all that kind of thing. Maybe we expand at some point once we find out more of the story, but for now, I think we're pretty set.
All right. And Mad Hayes asks, hi, I'm really looking forward to the beta, but I would like to know, will there be plenty left to discover when the game is officially released, or will all the secrets be out of the bag after the beta? Thanks.
I could take this one, I think. I mean, just look at how Bungie's been like, going about revealing information about Destiny so far. They've been keeping it very close to their chest. They've been jealously, keeping this information back so that we could discover it ourselves. So I don't see any reason why that's going to change just because we have a beta, honestly. We'll certainly know more. Just like how the alpha gave us a really good idea of Destiny's early game, I'm sure the beta is going to give us a good glimpse of Destiny's mid-game and perhaps even a slight glance at the end-game content. But no, Bungie would be hypocrites at this point if they gave us the beta and had it spoil all of Destiny's secrets. There's going to be plenty left to discover: equipment, exotics, perhaps even game modes or locations and such. I feel that there's plenty of magic left in this universe, both for this game and in the future.
It's really interesting too because it's already been said that even when the game launches, you'll only have access to, I think it was 3 planets when the first game comes out.
Really?
So yeah, I mean it's been said. Yeah.
What is it
I
about
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Source that.
What
Am
about
I
your
the- Am I the only one that reads the Reddit board and looks
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Earth,
on my Reddit?
Earth, Moon, Mars, Venus,
Well, I mean,
possibly the Rift.
I thought it was
Europa?
Earth, Wind,
When you-
Fire, and Air.
right when you first load up the game for the first
Everything
time is
changed
what it's
when the
referring
fire
to.
nation attacked.
Well, so
Oh,
like it could be like Halo Reach, where it's like, yeah, so we're going to let's hear, what did they call it? It was the rank lock, where you couldn't get over a certain rank until like the community got like a certain.
Yes. What was that rank?
That was
Lieutenant
Lieutenant
Colonel.
Colonel.
Lieutenant Colonel, grade
Yeah.
1, grade 3 or something. I don't remember.
Something.
Yeah, and so kind of going back to that as well, and even the earlier question, I think that Bungie has. I'm pure speculation, but it seems as though as we're all online, as we're all happening, as we're all doing these things, as soon as somebody unlocks a certain event, or multiple people unlock a certain event, then maybe more stuff opens up to the rest of the community. This is a dynamic world, and they want us to live in it. So I think that it would be completely amazing for them to continue just to unlock portions of it as we go along. So no, it doesn't have to all be there as soon as the game ships. What's there to expect in December? What's there to expect in March? And they have a plan for that, 10-year plan. I don't think it's all going to be blown in a 3-week, marathon session.
Yeah. They have a lot to live up to with the Halo series, so I can't imagine that they haven't taken a short-sighted approach of, well, let's just release this one game and then we'll see what the hell happens, you know, because there's a few other ways to kind of destroy your reputation other than if you don't, you know, plan and prepare to not just put out a new game but develop a whole new world that's better than your last one. So
I think it's safe to say too that Destiny is off to a decent start. I don't know how many of you guys here specifically ended up playing the alpha. I think it was only Chorizo because we were the only ones with PlayStations.
That's not true.
No.
I played.
Oh, yay, okay. Well,
And me.
so some of you guys
And
played.
Hyle played.
I sold my soul to the devil to get a PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I'm
It
still-
was actually my left arm.
But one of the things I noticed when I was playing the alpha was overall we had access to just about nothing. I mean, we had level 8, you know, cap. We could only play one. There were 2 matchmaking maps and only 1 game type. And then we had some of Old Russia. And I say some because if you went on like the map, you could see there was more of Old Russia we actually couldn't get to. And I ended up playing, you know, for about a week, and I never got bored with it. Maybe that's because it was, you know, something new, something I hadn't tried, but even with the limited amount of content that they provided, you could still always do something, and there was always new experiences to be had. The way they built it, it's not something that gets old quickly. So
It's fun. I had a good time trying to break the game. I was trying to find a lot of glitches. I
There
found
was
a couple.
one point in the tower where a bunch of us got together, and who was it? Chorizo and True Underdog found this. Oh my gosh, they found this little like nook at the bottom of the tower by where the Vanguard, like the Great Hall of Guardians, is, and we got like 6 of us. Like we were all just jumping on top of each other, trying to like get all the way to the top of it.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that was him, and we ended up getting like to the top of the platform, and he was just trying to break the game.
We did it too.
And it worked, but only like
what
I think it was like 3 people or something.
I wish I would have recorded it.
I wish it would.
someone reported it. I saw it on the alpha
It was
forum.
me. I reported it.
Well,
He
one
broke
thing
it and
that,
then reported it.
one thing that always struck me is before the alpha, we had all these people saying Destiny just looks like Halo. Destiny just looks like Borderlands. And there is some truth to that of as far as what Bungie showed up until that point. But something that was really refreshing for me was that I didn't get to play the alpha myself, but I did watch a lot of streams, and everyone that I saw that was playing the alpha said, no, Destiny is a very unique experience, and it's very fun on its own merits. And that might not be something you get from the videos. It might just be an issue with Bungie's publicity for the first year, because no one was really sure what Destiny was. Well, a lot of people weren't sure what Destiny was. And so I just think it's really great that you guys actually enjoyed it to that extent.
What he's saying deep down is, grr, I didn't get to play.
So
No.
this is a public issue, or sorry, challenge to everyone who's going to watch this. Once the beta comes out, I challenge everyone to a gigantic game of Duck Duck Goose, because this is something we perfected in Destiny. And I will upload the video later. We all went to the tower, and we all went to the area where the Titan, Warlock, and Hunter mentors were, and we all
The other
circled
one.
up, and we played a game of Duck Duck Goose, and it was fantastic. It's awesome.
I can definitely say, like, in terms of gameplay, it is not Halo. Like, I mean, there's some truth aspects to it, but at least in like my first initial impressions, I was just like, man, this is a different game. Like, it has a different feel to it. The fact that you can even spawn a vehicle, like, name spawn. The fact that you can spawn, the fact that you can just spawn a vehicle and just take it, not on the open maps like the larger one that we played on the moon, or just out in the open. Like, you can just do that and travel along really far. I mean, that's a game changer. You don't have to go like find something and then hope it doesn't die when you're like under fire. Little things like that.
I think in multiplayer, being able to spawn the vehicle was probably my favorite thing, because on the moon was a very big map, and if you had to walk across it, it took a while. It's not the case anymore. You could, hop on your Sparrow, and it didn't have any weapons. All it was a way to travel quickly, and it really made the game seem a lot more fluid and a lot more fun.
We got the gun goose now. Maybe we'll get the gun sparrow.
The pike.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
the
mind
pike is pretty much.
Oh yeah, the pike is completely sick. I really missed that thing after from playing the alpha. I think it was probably my favorite aspect, just the game feel of driving around on it. And if you screwed it up, you felt really bad. But
It's a ghost.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a ghost, but
It's cool.
way better designed.
Yeah.
I heard it was
looks
essentially
like
a ghost on steroids.
Well, it was truly a battle at the beginning of the match when people would all jump in their vehicles, and it was like thinking like Halo 3 Sand Trap, right? Like you were battling for the Banshee, or you were like battling for the tank or whatever. But like you were battling to see like whose interceptor could survive, like the initial onslaught, because yeah, it was absolutely 100% something. And some people would play that way, and they would go sit on those turrets. Like if you get a good angle on those turrets, like they destroy any vehicle.
The turrets
on the map.
are amazing.
They're insane. I would even call them overpowered a little bit, but
No, because now everyone's gonna want to nerf them.
Don't tell Sage,
No.
he'll nerf it.
Until Sage will nerf it. No, I mean the way they're positioned is good, but like if you get a good angle on even an interceptor, like you destroy it in a second. Like
Yeah, the opening games of those moon matches were actually really, really exciting just because, it wasn't like Sand Trap where it's like, oh, someone has the laser right off the bat so they can just erase a vehicle out of existence. No, I mean, you have enough there's enough counterplay built into the game so that I can easily snipe someone off a pike or I can snipe someone out of the interceptor and such. And it was really exciting. Like, do I go directly at where they spawn? Should I try and flank in my pike or my interceptor? Just go ignore everything and just capture C my vehicle and hope they come around the corner and I can just shoot them. It was lots of really interesting stuff.
So, on a side note, you know who never talks about the beta, and I know who's excited about it? Death. What do you think, Death?
Death is always excited. He just doesn't show it.
No,
Death
what do you
is
think?
Death is awesome. No, Death is very, very, very excited, but he's also an Xbox
can tell
user,
you're
so he doesn't get to have these wonderful memories of the alpha. Death is very, very, very sad about this.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to playing with you Xbox guys once that version comes out eventually.
Xbox One.
Eventually.
Yeah, what platforms are we all doing? Can we go around and say that for the beta? How about for the beta?
I'll start.
Got my platform right here.
So Roland's a traitorous PS4 person. All right.
trolling.
So we'll see if the beta's still going on when I come back from vacation. Hopefully, I'll be kind of pissed if it's not.
No,
If it is, though, what are you on?
Lasts like 3 days.
So I am currently trying to buy a house, so I can't buy an Xbox One yet. I will have one by the time Destiny comes out proper, but I'll be playing the 360, hopefully.
Good. Death, what are you?
Okay, so I'm on the Xbox 360 now. I might also do the Xbox One. It really just depends on how things work out, but Xbox all the way rolling.
You know what?
No rolling. You don't even get to speak. Just go to the next person.
Burn!
What do you got, Chori?
I got a PlayStation 4.
PS4 all the way. Flynn?
Yeah.
I'm doing an Xbox One, so looking forward to it.
Nice.
More for me. All right, now I have someone to play with. What about you, Kyle?
Pile. I have PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, and Xbox One. So,
Why don't you have a
My name's
PS4?
Iobos. I'm rich.
So are answering those Craigslist ads safe? As that?
Kyle's also going to play the beta on the Wii U.
I played on the Wii if they released it for that. I love my Wii U.
Yeah, what about you,
On my phone?
Who's going next? Me?
Yeah, what do you got, Spot?
Right now I have a PS4.
Yeah.
So.
Prometheus?
Boo.
Is anyone
Prometheus
playing on the
always
Ouya? Oh, sorry, Prometheus.
I'm doing actually the iPhone, so
Right.
like any of you guys are there.
Prom, what do you got?
I already answered this question. I don't know why you're coming back to
Jeez,
me.
burrito.
Did he? I've been going through. I have the little boxes. In my
I'm
car.
playing
I've been
Destiny in real life. I have my sword. I don't need you guys' game consoles.
Dude,
Just
you
as
need- you're like a sword with
keeping
a
it real.
titan, like you got the knight thing. I got a staff, like the warlock. All right, I've been messing with it all podcast.
I have my
Says
knife.
You're
but I have
overcompensating.
right
Next to me, why does he have a knife?
As a
They
general
want
side
me
note,
to the knife earlier, and
Oh, I
We
was
were
gonna say.
gonna cosplay as Guardians, but
Don't drop this "we" into this.
Yeah, it was just me and
We're
you, man.
excited.
As a general side note, has anybody noticed the
I
background
suck.
in a Flint, like the amount of daylight going
Yes.
through
Oh,
like in his
yeah.
screen now?
I
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
completely
that
black.
earlier.
It's so
Has
dark.
anybody noticed that? Like in
I'm
the
waiting
span
for
of
something
like
to just come
what?
up behind him and grab him.
Like in the span of 1 hour, like it went from complete daylight to like darkness.
I just want to say, Chorizo, if anyone grabs Flint, you get to do all the work from here on out.
Okay.
I just wanted to simulate the day-night cycles in Destiny in real life.
Rock on.
We have an overachiever for an intern. This is perfect. All right. Spawn apparently really wants to go because he keeps screaming how much time we've have left. So we've hit an hour. Is everyone good with wrapping things up?
Bungie Day
Yeah, we
tomorrow.
got a few announcements.
No, I'm not good at wrapping things up. I've got
All
kids out there somewhere.
Flint
That's-
had one.
We are, I guess, done for the night. There is a
Hang on,
podcast
rolling.
tomorrow. Podcast tomorrow.
Rolling.
Yes.
We got a few things we want to say first.
What else?
Flint had something.
Hey, real quick. So, Spawn's doing has been talking about the community shirts, and so I wanted to give him an opportunity to plug that. As soon as I got done talking about, I got some Bungie shirts in the mail yesterday from the
Nice.
Bungie store.
What?
I want to just say that so they're awesome. They're kind of like a 50-50 cotton polyester blend, so it's not going to scratch you or chafe you.
What was it? Machine wash on warm?
Yeah, it's machine wash. It'll be
Tumble
good.
dry only? Okay.
Yeah, it'll be wonderful. But
We get a commission on this, right?
absolutely, that's how I put my kids through college.
Wait, was that out loud?
But,
Right.
Spawn, why don't you talk about the shirts for PAX?
So the pack shirts, in general, I know that Bywald actually just created them.
I love you, but maybe I should talk about the pack shirts if we're talking about those.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I know Roland's been working with Bywald a little bit more, and he just recently updated them. So take it away, Roland.
Okay, so pack shirts, long story short, the way it's going to end up, first of all, we love all of you. Bywald is exceptionally happy. We've never had that many people want one of those shirts before. You guys are amazing. That said, they're only going to be available for people actually going to PAX.
Oh.
There are very long-winded explanations as to why. We weren't going to say anything into the details originally, but since I guess I'm kind of on the spot, long story short, that is all Bungie's trademarks technically, and we aren't allowed to sell that in the first place, which
Makes
is why
sense.
we're trying to keep it very minimal. We've gotten away with it in the past, but we don't want to start shipping these things out, internationally across the country, because then we'd really be crossing lines. So if you're going to PAX shirts, they're awesome. They look great. Bywald does an amazing job. If you're not going to PAX, I'll see what I can do about getting some extras and giving them away for free, but we won't actually be selling them. We can't.
Rita
Sell.
looks free.
So what you're saying is, since it's a trademark thing, you have to give them away for free.
I like the way Chori thinks.
So I would like to follow up with some comments on this. Do you guys have a system in place for if we're going to PAX, how we reserve ourselves a shirt or something like that?
More details to follow.
Fair enough. My second point is perhaps this might be a opportunity to find out from Bungie how to handle such a thing as we hope the community grows, and I hope there are more opportunities for stuff like this to happen. Having Bungie stuff want to be proliferated through the community that's not from the store. So maybe it might be interesting for someone to look into and formally inquire.
Excellent
If
idea.
that made any sense. I don't know if that...
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
That's possibly a good mail sack question.
Yeah.
All right.
P7 mail sack.
And then I wanted to plug real quick the Community Carnage is happening tomorrow on Bungie Day. We have 4 games happening. There is a thread in the community hashtag, the community forum for it. If you haven't signed up, I highly recommend you do. We have it at all times throughout the day to get every time zone in. It happens every single year. We're really happy to host it again. It'll happen next year. We'll have the pentathlon. We have Death Summer League going on. That's also a huge, awesome event that is a big hit every time. So yeah, if you guys don't have anything to do with Community Carnage right now, highly suggest you get involved. Very fun. One of the highlights of the last few years of Bungie Day.
All right, so we've got Community Carnage tomorrow. There's another podcast. What time's that at?
1 p.m. Pacific time.
All right, 1 p.m. Pacific.
He's going to be there.
A few of these guys for another podcast tomorrow. Is there anything else?
Bungie Day.
Oh, we should all thank Flint publicly on the podcast for doing all the work for us.
Everyone say thank you, Flint.
Thank you, Flint.
Where's my goddamn coffee?
Yes, Flint, you are fired, but we still love you. All right?
All right.
That it? We good?
Very good.
Yeah.
Thanks
All
for
right.
rolling.
Bye, community. Everyone
Bye,
wave.
community.
Bye.
Bye.